Quinn Warren kicks off for Indiana. The college football semifinal of the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl is underway. Jeremiah McClellan got belted just shy of the 20-yard line. And the IU fans making it difficult for more in Oregon right out of the gate. De'Aaron Hill Jr. is the running back. The quick pass is intercepted. It's going to be run in for an Indiana touchdown. D'Angelo Pons on the first play of the game.
Look at D'Angelo Pons, got outside leverage of an outbreaking route, and his eyes are in the backfield the whole way. The ball's thrown slightly inside. Pons grabs it and takes it to the house.
A pick six by D'Angelo Pons. Niko Radicic makes it 7-0, 11 seconds in. And Quinn Warren kicks off for the second time. And McClellan lets it go for a touchback. And it is the true freshman, De'Aaron Hill Jr. at running back, not Whittington, their leading rusher. Hill ducks under a hit and gets out near the 29. On 2nd down and 6, they do try to settle things in with a couple of runs. Harris has a first down. A long stiff arm to the corner, Jamari Sharp. Will Stein, the offensive coordinator, on his way to be the head coach at Kentucky. Play action pass, it's a screen. Jay Harris staggers but stays on his feet and has another first down with a 12-yard gain. They stay with Harris. So a nice response to the horrible start for Oregon. And Moore's pass is incomplete. Should have been caught by Jamari Johnson. Dan Lanning likes to go for it a lot on 4th down. He's not going to have to make that decision. Malik Benson the run after the catch. Down to the 40-yard line. D'Angelo Pons the stop. Jay Harris the lone back as Moore goes under center. With a bunch to his right. Into the boundary. Harris did well to break a tackle at the line of scrimmage. Indiana doesn't miss many. 3-yard gain. Roger Saliapaga, who's the 3rd tight end for Oregon, has come into the game. Harris spinning down at the 33-yard line. 4 more. Fisher's the leader. Dante Moore said he was troubled in the regular season game that Fisher kept hollering out what play was coming. Moore over the middle, caught, first down. Good throw to Jay Harris. 10th play of the drive. And it's a fake handoff to Sadiq and a designed run for Moore. Play action pass, designed rollout, Sadiq the catch, and it's another Oregon first down. Out of bounds at the 17-yard line. 12th play of the drive, started at their own 25. Nice balance of rushes and passes. This is the 7th run, and it's Jay Harris. Dropped at the 19. 2nd down and 12. Moore given plenty of time. Now zings toward the end zone and over the head of his intended receiver. They're 2 for 2 on 3rd down on the drive. A pocket again to the end zone. Touchdown! Jamari Johnson!
Pons flips his hips just enough to create more separation to the middle of the field. That was great design, great throw, and a terrific route by Johnson.
Atticus Sappington. Challenge you to find a better name in college football. He adds the extra point. Sappington's kickoff is a touchback. So here's the first play on offense for Indiana. Oregon's run 15. Fernando Mendoza handoff to Roman Hemby. Tackled by Dylan Thieneman. 6'5", 225 from Miami. Hoping to return home to play against the Hurricanes in the national championship game. He's on target to Elijah Surratt. Hemby is the running back. He'll split time with Kalon Black. Plenty of time. Mendoza, another back shoulder throw and a catch in traffic. Surratt with 2 catches, 57 for the year. They allowed plenty of contact from Ife Obidegu, one of the 2 freshman corners for Oregon, after the 23-yard gain. It's Hemby. 2 of the very best offensive lines in the country. They were 2 of the 3 finalists for the Joe Moore Award. Here's a false start.
False start. Offense, number 67. 5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
They had problems with the crowd at Oregon, and they also had trouble with the movement that induced some of those false starts. Tough run by Kalon Black, down just shy of the 40. Not as dramatic as the moves were in Eugene. On 3rd down and 4, he's on target, caught the tight end, Riley Nowakowski. Mendoza 3 for 3. The extended wait to get on the field didn't hurt him. Black runs inside the 30 with a gain of 6. 8th play of the drive. Hemby rips through the middle of the defense. First down, Hoosiers. Washington's a terrific player. He's 330 pounds. Hemby turns the corner, has a lead blocker inside the 5 and out of bounds. They're going to mark him out at the 7. Coogan said he chose Indiana for 2 reasons. He wanted a great culture and he wanted a chance to win the national championship. He made a great decision. Hemby stacked up. Ashton Porter. Mendoza, end zone, caught! Touchdown! Omar Cooper!
You see the inside leverage, which you're going to beat with an outbreaking route every time. Usually, it's Surratt on the outside on the back shoulder this part of the field.
They have some problems to solve after that 11-play drive. The kick by Quinn Warren, a touchback. First catch of the night for Cooper goes for a touchdown. That was the case in the win against Texas Tech. So Moore and the Duck offense back on the field. They make you earn it. Jay Harris is going to be on his way to a career night here tonight. Gets the call again. They had a very tough time on 3rd down against Texas Tech. And that continues. Jay Harris driven back by Mikhail Kamara with help from Isaiah Jones.
Pressure off the outside, and he just beats the right tackle Harkey across his face, and there's nothing that Jay Harris can do. And the Indiana defense on short yardage, man, it is a war in the trenches. They're so athletic and disruptive that it's hard to stay in unison along the offensive line.
James Ferguson Reynolds, they have an interesting punt situation off, and he rolls for a while. Looks like it's going to be a fake. Indiana rushed him, so he kicked it right away. And it's a good one from the Australian. 4 for 4. They're up 14-7, including a defensive touchdown, and Kalon Black gets nothing on 1st down. Out of the pistol. The handoff to Black across the 20. Bryce Betcher made the tackle. Here's that running ability we talked about earlier. First down and much more. Finally shoved out of bounds by Aaron Flowers at the 41.
Well, it's really, really well done because it's a pressure up the middle. It's really well defended and blocked by Black, who picks it up.
Fernando rushed for 31 yards in the regular season meeting. Kalon Black turns the corner. Very late flag thrown after a 5-yard gain.
personal foul, illegal block below the waist, defense, number 7. 15-yard penalty will be added to the end of the run. First down.
First offensive lineman to be the MVP of the Rose Bowl since 1944. Norm Berry, our statistician Mike Swanson said, was a terrific player. Bryce Betcher knocked down his pass. You might have to decide for pro career with football or baseball, because he's going to be drafted in the NFL. Mendoza, the ball is loose. It got ripped out by Nasir Wyatt. Back in the hands of Mendoza, and Wyatt gets there again.
And Nasir Wyatt is all speed. He doesn't play a ton, but he plays in obvious passing situations, and he always flashes. That time right around Benson, the tackle, they whiff on the chip, and he makes the play.
He had only 9 tackles all year. He's a true freshman from Santa Ana, California, but 2 of them were sacks. There's Mitch McCarthy, a 27-year-old Australian punter. Gary Bryant Jr. smothered at the 14-yard line. The number 1 pick in the NFL draft. He and Mendoza likely to be the top 2 picks if Moore goes into the NFL draft. He hasn't made up that decision yet. The ball slips out of his hand as he wound up to throw. And Indiana has it inside the 5. Mario Landino came up with the ball for the Hoosiers. Looked like Moore might have collided with De'Aaron Hill as he wound up to fire.
That's exactly what happened, and without Whittington, without Davidson, they have not had a ton of reps with Hill. They have an RPO called. Hill gets too close, and as Moore is pulling it back, it hits the nose of the football against the left shoulder pad, and a massive mistake, but probably could have been avoided with more experienced backfield.
Indiana's plus 20 for the year, leading the nation. You can say that at the end of a lot of stats. Kalon Black, the running back. He has blockers up and over, and he's down 2 yards short. Dylan Thieneman made the tackle. The safety who Tosh LeBoy believes will play in the National Football League. Second and goal from the 2. Kalon Black tumbles toward the goal line. He's down short by about a half a yard. Tatum Tuioti made the tackle. Mendoza with Black, the running back. Black straight ahead, touchdown. Kalon Black. Ninth touchdown of the year for Black, one of 13 players who transferred to Indiana before last season, coming along from James Madison with Kurt Signetti. Nico Radicic, the extra point. And Dan Lanning, the absence of some key running backs is showing up here in the first half. Quinn Warren kicks off, no chance for return for Hill. And Noah Whittington, who was their leading rusher, expected to see the bulk of the carries, is hobbled quite obviously by turf toe. So it's been Jay Harris, who was a 5th string running back at the start of the year. And he must be hurting, because if you can't go in this game, you can't go. Dante Moore on 2nd and 10. Pressure, dumps it off. Harris to the 40-yard line. Aiden Fisher the stop. Matching his total for the season entering tonight. Weaves through that Indiana defense for a gain of 7. Lewis Moore, a safety, made the tackle. Harris, the running back, on 2nd and 3. Play action fake. Moore running out of time and gets sacked. Dominique Ratcliffe and Tyreek Tucker.
And they're trying to take a shot here to Benson, but it's a great job by the center field safety, the aforementioned Moore, who plays it beautifully, stays over the top, sees it, and he knows that it's going to take way too long for him to be able to get it home. Dante Moore's got to lose that football.
Under 6 minutes to go in the half. 3rd and 12. Moore under pressure again and down at the 31. Oregon's given up 18 sacks this season, 8 of them against Indiana. Here's James Ferguson Reynolds. Line drive punt. Jonathan Brady out to the 39-yard line. Fernando Mendoza, high throw, good catch in the flat by Roman Hemby, but then he got dumped by Bryce Betcher.
Take a back seat to nobody, and it's really across the board. They're phenomenal.
Mendoza, another back shoulder throw to Surratt. They throw a flag. He caught the ball anyway with Theron Johnson all over him.
Pass interference, defense, number 5. The penalty is declined. The result of the play is a first down.
When you're a defender, you have to know the back shoulder throw is coming, don't you, if you're guarding this guy?
They played it well. I mean, obviously grabs the jersey with the left hand, results in the flag. You cannot cover that. I mean, I don't care what the you cannot play the back shoulder much better, and it still doesn't matter. Surratt reels it in with one hand.
Play fake. Mendoza has running room if he wants it. Instead, sends it ahead to Omar Cooper. Brandon Finney made the tackle. Deep throw, Charlie Becker! Touchdown, Indiana! Becker has emerged as a standout over the second half of the year. Radicic, the point after. It is 28-7.
They can throw it over your head. It's press coverage. Fernando Mendoza knows exactly where he's going. He just has to take care of the safety. His eyes start there to the left. Then his helmet swivels over, which buys just enough time for Thieneman. Can't get over the top. And Becker, the emergence since the Penn State game has been phenomenal. 6'4" with tremendous speed. He's added a deep throw element.
Becker got the chance, and boy, did he run with it. De'Air Hill on first down. Out to the 29, a gain of 4. They're going to have to throw it with regularity. He gets hit, lost the ball again. Daniel Ndukwe knocked it out, and it is Indiana ball. And Mario Landino has his second fumble recovery of the night.
And how about the hit by Ndukwe, who's had to step up in the absence of Stephen Daly. He arrives immediately and makes the play. And Landino's right there, but that's what happens when you're Landino. When you do what you're supposed to do, and you're a great teammate, that's exactly what you're rewarded with. He goes out, he sets the pick against Harkey, the right tackle, which frees up Ndukwe to make the sack, and then Landino's there to pounce on it.
What a performance by the #1 team in the country. Mendoza breaks a tackle. And finally gets wrestled down at the 20. Where does this team rank historically?
They're giving you some 2019 LSU vibes.
Yeah, that's what it feels like right now. Here's Kalon Black. They're up 28-7 at the 2-minute warning. The attention to detail is remarkable. Mendoza handled the high snap. And down inside the 10-yard line. It is a gigantic pro-Indiana crowd, and they're loving every minute of it. Hemby straight ahead with little resistance. He powers down to the goal line, and he's just short. He's lined up in front of Roman Hemby. Hemby stood up short of the line of scrimmage. Tion Gray back up defensive tackle. So here's 3rd and goal. So many options for Mike Shanahan. Hemby's the running back. Mendoza quick pass. Touchdown. Elijah Surratt.
And this ball got out so quickly, and Surratt did such a great job. Is he down right there? Where's the ball?
It's a touchdown. Nico Ranicic. $35-7. The assistant coaches and the players we talked to said yesterday just the opposite. One of the things we appreciate most, the coaches said he lets us go home at night. The players said he really values our time. As a touchback from Quinn Warren, to the point where if he says the practice is going to be 30 minutes, their practices are short for the most part. Dante Moore throws on the run, just throwing it up for grabs, and why not at this point? You need to make something happen. Jeremiah McClellan, the intended receiver. Throw and a catch made by Malik Benson. Went to Elon, totally turned that around. JMU, and now here in Indiana there's going to be a holding call. About 65,000 fans in the stands with crimson on helped 2 of the officials.
Holding. Offense, number 76. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Remains first down.
Isaiah World, the left tackle. Shanahan, by the way, also a 3-year extension starting at $1.7 million. Good work if you can get it. Moore's pass incomplete on 1st down and 20, intended for Jamari Johnson. For the most part, he has been at Kentucky very little, and Lupoy's been in Berkeley very little. Their primary focus by far has been on this playoff, finishing it right with the Ducks. De'Air Hill tackled by D'Angelo Pons. 14-yard gain.
So difficult for both those coordinators to manage both jobs. They said it's been ruthless from a sleep standpoint, but they felt like they had their team prepared.
They both looked exhausted yesterday, understandably so. Good catch by Johnson. They're down near field goal range at the very least, but they're running out of time. 6 seconds. They stop the clock to move the chains. 19-yard gain. He throws it into the ground. This is a 56-yard attempt with Ferguson Reynolds, the punter, the holder, trying to give them something to take into the locker room. And it's short. On target, but short. And the biggest swing of all is winning a national championship. It would pair with a Heisman Trophy. Only 9 quarterbacks have ever done that. A lot of work to do still. 10 out of 11 for 110 and the 3 touchdowns. He was 14 for 16 against Alabama for 192, 3 touchdowns.
Offense, number 62. 5-yard penalty. Remains
I'm
first
guessing
down.
Kirk Cignetti will give us the face.
There it is. Right on cue.
Roman Hemby, the ball carrier. Mendoza on target, not a surprise. Elijah Surratt. Now out of the pistol, Hemby stood up and driven back by Bryce Betcher. You know he's going to fight all the way to the end. Mendoza far sideline, another perfect throw and a catch by Becker. The receivers run great routes. They catch the ball, they don't drop it. Kalon Black bouncing off would-be tacklers and another first down. Jaden Kennedy, a safety, made the stop. He remains the running back, and Indiana goes a little tempo. Mendoza flushed from the pocket. And turns it into a gain across the 35-yard line. Betcher again. Hemby, he got lit up again by Betcher. Said he hadn't made up his mind, but you got the sense his first love is football. Mendoza pulls it down and scrambles. Spinning around, the ball comes out. And wouldn't you know, Indiana recovers it. It was Pat Coogan in the right place after Jaden Kennedy popped the ball out.
I thought he might split the safeties. I mean, he makes Washington miss, and he's right through it, tries to spin out of it. It's a good job popping it out. But like always, Indiana does the little things. The offensive line at 310+ pounds for Coogan. He's chasing the ball, and he's right there to recover the fumble.
Hemby, the ball carrier. Roman Hemby, the ball carrier. And now 5 wide receivers on 3rd down and 5 for Mendoza. To the end zone, wide open receiver and a touchdown. E.J. Williams. We talk about Indiana as a team. They have 6 touchdowns tonight. They've been scored by 6 different players. Nico Radicic, the extra point. Congratulations to Pete Golding, his staff and players. The way they handled the situation over the last month was remarkable. This, Charlie Becker getting rolled up on and limping off the field. When do you start taking some of your starters and key players out of the game? Meanwhile, an injury on the Oregon side. Hosea World, the left tackle, limped off late in the first half. Fox Crater, redshirt freshman, is in at left tackle. Here's De'Aaron Hill. One man to beat. He got slowed down enough that the Hoosiers run him down inside the 5-yard line. 71-yard run. You see the speed of Hill. He's a big playmaker. The 71-yard run is the longest of his true freshman season. And they're inside the 5. The play fake by Moore. And a flag thrown, and D'Angelo Pons on a one-on-one ball to Malik Benson.
Pass interference. Defense, number 5. The foul occurred in the end zone. By rule, the ball will be placed at the 2-yard line. First down, Oregon.
Tons of contact there by Pons.
Jay Harris, the running back, in the pistol. And down to the goal line. Touchdown. And they're going to go for 2. 4 receivers to the right, the 3 widest in a bunch. Moore throws it to the other side. Single coverage. Jamari Johnson the catch for 2. And again, the size advantage there. He's 6'5" against the 5'9" D'Angelo Pons. 8 points for Oregon. That is going to be a very tough ticket. Assuming Indiana wins. There's still more than a quarter and a half to play. Kalon Black is the running back. He has a hole on the right side. Kalon Black. Can they tackle him with the 3rd try from behind? They do. Run down by Jaden Kennedy, who is slow to get up. It's a 62-yard run for Kalon Black, but it'll come back on a hold.
10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Remains first down.
He has started every game at right guard these 2 years under Kurt Cignetti.
Yeah, and they got it on the right guard, but they might have actually had it on the tackle. That's Coogan, number 78. It did look like he had a wrap right around.
There's Becker. Hoosier Nation can breathe a sigh of relief that he's all right. Now it's Hemby. He got wrestled down by Jericho Johnson in the middle of that defensive line. A gain of 3. Mendoza over the middle. Riley Nowakowski, first year at Indiana after 5 at Wisconsin. That's a 13-yard gain. Many of his peers lauding it as one of the great coaching jobs of all time. Mendoza on the run, doesn't matter, still on target. Surratt first down. Pat Coogan, the center, lost his helmet. Roman Hemby, the ball carrier. Here's Kalon Black again. But Mendoza would have to fight for Hoover, and likely to be the backup again. Fernando, incomplete pass. Time to put in the younger brother. That's it. But how about Fernando, his brother's biggest fan? He said, yeah, I think my brother's going to be the best quarterback in the country next year. Might see Alberto tonight. He got in late against Alabama. Mitch McCarthy. Of course. Second punt of the night, hits at the 5 and stops. And it's Charlie Becker still out there on special teams to down it. A 49-yard punt. Jay Harris is the running back. The Ducks scored on their last drive. Jay Harris stopped after a gain of 3. Out of the pistol with De'Aaron Hill with a 71-yard run on the touchdown drive of the last possession. He got stood up and driven back by Elijah Hardy.
After the play, personal foul, face mask, offense, number 71. The penalty will be enforced half the distance to the goal. The down counts. It'll be 3rd down.
Alex Harkey, the right tackle, yanking on the face mask. Dante Moore is 9 out of 14 for 112. A touchdown and an interception for a pick 6. He's throwing a deep bomb, and it is caught. Jeremiah McClellan.
And he had to fight through a lot of contact, too. I mean, that could have very easily been called pass interference. Instead, McClellan, who's been really good, they've had so many injuries throughout the season at wide receiver. He's really come on strong down the stretch, and he makes a big play again.
Just the 4th quarterback in Big Ten history to throw 40 touchdown passes in a season. The other 3 all Buckeyes: Wayne Haskins, C.J. Stroud, Justin Fields. DeCorian Moore. Another big play for Oregon. Moore, incomplete. Pons creeping up, buying another interception. It was intended for Kenyon Sadiq. Harris, dropped by Mario Landino. Coaches rave about him. Oregon's 5 out of 7 on 3rd down. Both teams have been outstanding on 3rd down tonight, in contrast to the regular season meeting. Some nifty footwork by De'Aaron Hill. Tyreek Tucker took him down. Final 44 seconds of the 3rd quarter. The pitch to Harris. He's in trouble and dropped behind the line of scrimmage. Indiana takes over on downs.
Don't want to
get. They're going to. The other 135 are going to remember it.
Well, it's tonight. You know, I can change my mind tomorrow, perhaps.
Roman Hemby, the ball carrier. What could be, if the Hoosiers want it to be, and you know it will be, the way they manage the game, the last play of the 3rd quarter. With a 27-point lead going to the 4th quarter, Fernando Mendoza to Omar Cooper for a gain of 2. Carson Beck chose Miami in the transfer portal because he liked their chances of being in the playoff and contending for a national championship. And he's one of the great stories of this college football season.
Yeah, what a redemption arc. Of course, 2 national championships already, but as a backup. And now, after being the last team in the field, they haven't asked him to do a lot those first couple games, but got to have it back against the wall situation. He threw a couple lasers there in the 4th quarter to secure the victory.
15-play drive to win, a typical of Ole Miss. They were still throwing the ball in the end zone on the last play of the game. Mendoza's pass deep downfield. Cooper hit the deck at the 30-yard line, as did Jaden Kennedy, and there is no flag.
And it looked like Cooper, who's to the right side of the screen, does get dragged down with the left hand of Kennedy. It looked like he stretched it, grabbed a piece of the jersey and pulled him. Surprised they didn't call the foul there.
So is Matt Austin, our rules expert. He agrees with you. So here's Mitch McCarthy. And it's a return for Malik Benson. He brought one back 85 for a touchdown against USC. There's a flag down on the return, a 43-yard punt from McCarthy.
During the return, holding receiving team number 14. The 10-yard penalty will be enforced from the spot of the foul. First down.
Naeem Offord called for the penalty. 199 games in his college football career. Kenyon Sadiq, the catch and the tackle. Charismatic, kind of guy who Kurt takes over room, but kind of in a different way. Kurt compared his dad to John Wayne or Clint Eastwood.
Yeah, and I know his dad's so proud of him, and like you said earlier in the show, knowing at a young age he wanted to follow in his dad's footsteps and impact young men and put together a program. It's remarkable.
At West Virginia in the 1970s, when Bobby left to go to Florida State, over the middle more with Pons coming on a quarterback blitz. Twice Frank Signetti Sr. was led the last rites. He lived. James Ferguson Reynolds to punt. And the tip of the cap as well to Frank Signetti Jr., longtime NFL and college coach. He was a coordinator in both the NFL and college levels, and a wonderful human being as well. Delay a game, the call. They've had two since.
Yes.
Against top 5 teams, Ohio State and Notre Dame both last year. Northwestern, by the way, is now the losing team, and they block a punt for good measure. Daniel Ndukwe, what a night he's had. His first 2 career sacks, and now a block punt, which was fielded by Caden Turner. And another ridiculously short field handed over to Fernando Mendoza in this offense. They'll start inside the 7-yard line.
Just amazing. Completely relentless, and you put those 4s up in the air in the 4th quarter. It's a reminder that you still have 15 minutes to go, and you do not let up on the accelerator. Get the stop on defense, come after a punt, get a piece of it, and put the game on ice here in just a couple yards.
What could he possibly be not pleased about?
They didn't score on the punt block return. That's probably it. And I don't think he would have cracked a smile then.
Well, it's all 3 phases. Special teams moving to the forefront with that block punt. Roman Hemby down to the 5-yard line.
A lot of guys, I think they should get the ball every time. He did an amazing job, but to see this level of execution is incredible.
Mendoza. There's 3rd down and goal. Indiana. Kalon Black, the running back. Mendoza fires back line of the end zone. Touchdown. Elijah Surratt. Get me out of here, says Dan Lanning. And Surratt, the first multiple touchdown scorer in this game, now with 2. Mendoza 17 for 20 for 177 and 5 touchdowns. The extra point's good by Niko Radicic, the Texan. His parents from Croatia, and he lived there for a while as a child.
The AT&T Connect-A-Cam shows just an absolute seed.
You have to appreciate the greatness of this Indiana team.
Yeah, it's truly remarkable and well said.
Most recently in that win against Illinois, they really got their season off and running. That was a top 10 matchup. They won 63-10. Dante Moore got it off to Corian Moore down the sideline. Very talented true freshman wide receiver. Fisher got a hand on the pass. But what Mendoza's doing now invites the comparisons for sure. Moore, the play fake. He's on target to Kenyon Sadiq across midfield and scampers out of bounds. Nine and a half to go. Dante Moore. Pressured by Isaiah Jones, and the ball got deflected and fluttered out of bounds. With the transfer portal, everybody's a free agent. With NIL, if you have the money to spend, you have the advantage. Both these schools have very generous donors. Mark Cuban's here tonight, a proud Indiana grad. Obviously, Phil Knight has been very involved in Oregon athletics for a long time. The Indiana Hoosiers. Matter of fact, ESPN News is projecting Indiana will be the winner of this game. Dante Moore, back shoulder throw. Intended for Corian Moore. Moore rolls away from the rush, fires, incomplete. Kobe Martin runs out of bounds. He said, my dad, when I was in the portal, asked Signetti, so you think they're going to be okay? You think you're going to go to a bowl game next year? And Signetti gave him the Signetti face and said, bowl game, and we're going to do much better than that. And as usual, he was right. Kobe Martin, the redshirt freshman from Fishers, Indiana.
Most schools would say, I don't know, he's a little too short. Doesn't matter. He can play. Production over potential.
Here's Kobe Martin. He had 2 100-yard games this season.
He marches to the beat of his own drum.
Kalon Black, big haul. Kalon Black, touchdown. Oh, and finally a smile. Radicic, the extra point. You know, and he said yesterday, he has a great sense of humor too. We asked him, you're definitely going to draft, right? He does have a year of eligibility left. He said, well, obviously Sig's trying to force me out now that they're bringing Hoover in the transfer portal. An old apple doesn't fall far from the tree. On target, Dante Moore to Jeremiah McClellan. And well over his teammates and coaches almost immediately. Moore under pressure throws it away. Molly. Here's McClellan again, run after the catch. He's taken down. Jay Harris, the running back. In trouble on 3rd down and 1. Did well to get to the line to gain and a first down. Dante Moore.
But he still needs to play more ball. And this Oregon team in general, very, very young and should be really good next season.
Swing pass for Dier Hill. That lead blocker, number 25, is Kilohana Hassenritter. One of the players they moved over from defensive back to running back.
Dier Hill right there, who finishes the run when the game's sideways.
2.5 to go. Second down and 10. Moore's 21 to 35 for 247. A flip to Jeremiah McClellan. He got dumped by Isaiah Jones. All of them fantastic at what they do, and all of them wonderful people to be around. The K Crew, as we're known at ESPN. Here's Jamari Johnson. Great run after the catch. He got yanked down just shy of the end zone by Jaja Boyd, a redshirt freshman from Philadelphia, deep backup. That's just his 8th tackle of the year, but he prevented a touchdown. Jay Harris. The Big Ten has established itself as the premier conference in college football right now, for sure. Flag thrown.
Pass interference. Defense, number 18. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
Harris on the right hip. A botch snap for Dante Moore, and that's kind of fitting at this juncture. Harris, long exchange, and then Moore throws a touchdown. Roger Saliapaga, the sophomore tight end, with his first touchdown of the season, and you know they wanted to get it to him. You can see by the way the teammates celebrate. Atticus Sappington adds the extra point. So they win the most recent biggest game in school history. They've had 2 dominant wins in this playoff. 38-3 over one of the great programs of all time, Alabama. Sig face in the crowd. And now 56-22 over the Oregon Ducks.